Boeing's guarantee to the universe of a new average-size plane, normally named the Boeing 797, was a fantasy that the mid-market section needed to wake from the unique idea, however not precisely finished, aggressive state of question of the second till well into 2022, when Boeing shut down all improvement of a new moderate-sized plane till additional notification. So what happened? For what reason didn't Boeing seek after its improvement of the 797? To comprehend this, we first need to begin from the starting in 1983. Boeing acquainted the 757 with the flying world. The Boeing 757 was a valid trailblazer in the flying scene. It was equipped for dealing with both short take and long stretch courses. Effortlessly, it could serenely transport around 200 to 300 travelers, work from more limited runways also, on account of its adaptability to deal with both cross-country and transoceanic flights, turned into a famous decision for carriers notwithstanding being a twin-motor airplane. This was all on account of ETOPS, which ETOPS represents Expanded Range Twin-Motor Functional Execution Guidelines. Thanks to ETOPS, the 757 accessed overseas flights, which opened up a totally different market, and it rapidly turned into a famous airplane among carriers that is on the grounds that the 757's adaptability to handle both short and long stretch courses made it an ideal scaffold to fill the hole for medium thickness markets where bigger planes were excessively and more modest planes. Sufficiently not, this extension would later be known as the center of the market, frequently known as mother, which alludes to the market fragment among aircrafts that falls between the wide-body and tight-body airplane classes, as the 757 appreciated fruitful help. Carriers understood the monetary benefits of using a solitary passageway airplane for medium lobby courses. However, as with all beneficial things, its creation at last reached a conclusion. The maturing 757 Armada at last confronted difficulties with rising support costs and ecological worries, and the pandemic authorized the substitution. Just more you see on account of the pandemic aircrafts. The 797 are resigning both the 757 and the 766 sooner than anticipated, leaving a hole in the market and provoking aircrafts to look for a more current substitution. This hole has gradually turned into a test of skill and endurance, as both Airbus and Boeing have been attempting to create an airplane for the center of the market. Airbus is zeroing in on overhauling its A321 series with the A321neo, A321LR, and the destined to be delivered a 321XLR. Boeing rather tried on a more aggressive plan and chose to foster another clean sheet airplane, got back to the 797 in 2015. The 797, otherwise called the New Medium-Sized Plane or NMA, is Boeing's aggressive answer for fill the hole left by the destined to be resigning 757 in the center of the market section. The airplane planned to be a distinct advantage, offering expanded limit and moved along effectiveness, contrasted with its ancestor while representing major areas of strength for the Airbus A321XLR, which is set to be prepared in 2024 at the hour of this video. So how might the new medium-sized plane contend with the A321XLR? First off, the 797 would come in two renditions, a 255-seater with a scope of around 5,000 nautical miles, and a 275-seater with a scope of around 4,500 nautical miles. This would make the 797 ideal for overseas flights and other long-stretch courses, assuming we think about this to the A321XLR, which is set to haul around 180 to 200 travelers, and offers a scope of 4,700 nautical miles. The 797 rather offers two renditions in which both could convey more travelers. What's more, where the 255-seater would have a scope of 5,000 nautical miles. So in this respect, the 797 would have improved in general, that is not all, as its special twin aisle. 7, a bosom design vowed to create 30, a larger number of income than customary limited bodies. And that is not trend-setting innovations, all in light of the fact that the XLR might need to diminish its reach by around 200 nautical miles, following an arrangement between Airbus. Furthermore, European controllers, which sets the XLR back to 4,500 nautical miles, making both the 797 variants as the most alluring choices for aircrafts. However, Boeing didn't stop there. The flying maker imagined the 797 to consolidate trend-setting innovations, counting composite materials, and was expected to be fueled by a 50,000-pound forcibly or LBF motor from all things considered General Electric CFM or Pratt& Whitney. These motors would have a sidestep proportion from 10 to at least 1, bringing about a lower seat mile cost than the maturing 757, and an as-a-motor push than the XLR. This made the NMA project an alluring choice for carriers hoping to modernize their armadas with an eco-friendly and flexible airplane. While taking a gander at this, the NMA was plainly outmaneuvering the XLR on many variables, igniting critical interest from aircrafts prepared to possibly arrange the stream. Yet notwithstanding critical interest from carriers, and likely orders arranging Boeing's choice to end the project brought up issues among industry specialists. However, why then, at that point, did Boeing choose? For what reason did Boeing stop the 797 to stop its NMA program? Well, that is since the ended advancement of the 797 can be ascribed to three significant factors. The first is Boeing's concentration on settling issues that were brought about by the 737 MAXes. Two sad mishaps which brought about its crushing back in 2020, the 737 MAX emergency, as it is currently known, significantly affected Boeing's notoriety and monetary circumstance, driving the organization to focus on settling these issues. So Boeing redirected its assets in regard for getting the 737 MAX once again into administration. However, thusly its center disappeared from the NMA project, leaving the undertaking slowed down for essentially one more year. Then the avionic business was confronting a dubious monetary scene due to the coronavirus pandemic, which caused extreme interruptions to air travel interest. This monetary vulnerability further affected Boeing's direction, driving them to hold the 797 task until further notice be that as it may, in February 2021, Boeing considered bringing back the NMA project. And with valid justifications, you see, while Boeing was zeroing in on settling the 737 MAX emergency, Airbus felt free to push the A321XLR. Despite the fact that the XLR has endured a few defers, it is supposed to be prepared for administration in 2024. When of this video, which constrained Boeing to answer, yet next to the conspicuous, vital move, Boeing likewise needed to recover their brilliance in the center of the market section, and were able to contribute an incredible $25 billion being developed expenses anyway. A year after the fact, Boeing dropped a what to do straightaway sensation. Again, Boeing reported that they wouldn't continue with the advancement of the NMA until new motors. What's more, improvement devices are adequately adult. This is the last nail in the casket for the NMA project for the time being, as it appears as Boeing has chosen not to rush things furthermore, play a more mindful game, while holding on until innovation has arrived at a developed state to continue improvement. For the 797 appears like a savvy decision long haul when we check out its present moment was anyway. It leaves inquiries of Boeing having the option to contend on the lookout section as Airbus has proceeded its advancement of the XLR. It leaves Boeing with 2 or 3 choices of what to do straight away. However, another spotless sheet configuration, like the 797, is incredible. It would require a ton of investment to foster such an airplane and bring it to the market anyway. Time isn't on Boeing's side. Sitting and hanging tight for innovation is impossible for Boeing, as it will give Airbus free rule to overwhelm the center of the market long into the future. Boeing has consequently considered overhauling a current airplane. You find without the 797, Boeing investigated elective choices to address the center of the market fragment. One choice is updating the maturing 757. This sounds quicker and more affordable, really, for Boeing than to foster an entirely different airplane. Yet since time is of the embodiment, what might be the most significant update for the 757, 2 words. New motors anyway. This comes with a test for Boeing. You see the current 757 purposes, either the Rolls-Royce RB211 or the Pratt & Whitney PDW 2000 motors, the two of which are high-pushed motors that you won't view as on some other thin-bodied planes, and that would be very costly. However, given the prevalence the 757 has, it may be advantageous to renew them with present-day innovation and enhancements to fulfill current market needs, while refreshing existing models can help Boeing with a faster arrangement. It may not have been adequate to contend really with the Airbus A321, LR A321, Neo, and the destined-to-be functional XLR, all of which have currently acquired a huge market share on the lookout section. Boeing's delay to seek after the anime project, or any new task for that matter, has put them at an unmistakable disservice in the opposition for worthwhile orders in the market portions. And it shows. Take joint carriers, for example. While the carrier was dependably a reliable client of Boeing, they requested 50 A321 XLR and 70 A321 NEOS in 2021. The XLR particularly is by all accounts joint carrier's decision as the ideal trade for the maturing 757. This again shows Boeing's hesitance to seek after the 797 undertaking or some other undertaking to supplant the 757, permitted Airbus to start to lead the pack in the market fragment with the A321 series. The A321 series has turned into a famous decision among aircrafts, offering noteworthy adaptability for slender-body airplanes as an outcome. Airbus got in various orders and acquired an upper hand in the fragment. Boeing currently faces a difficult task to recapture its situation in the market race. The botched chance of the 797 not just impacted Boeing's market position, yet additionally featured the need for an unmistakable and key vision for the future to remain cutthroat. Boeing must rethink its needs, put resources into innovative work, and figure out how to recover its situation in the center market fragment, and actually rival Airbus Boeing's choice to require the 797 to be postponed. What's more, not seek after its improvement is a botched chance of huge extents. The new fair-sized plane could possibly alter the center of the market portion and secure Boeing's situation as a market chief. Rather, Airbus appeared to have taken the lead with its A21XLR, passing on Boeing to play makeup for lost time. So what do you folks figure Boeing ought to do? The center of the market fragment stays an exceptional market that offers a parcel of adaptability that aircrafts are searching for, and it has turned into a basic foundation for aviation Goliaths. Like Boeing and Airbus, the NMA project's delay gave Airbus the chance to fortify its traction in this rewarding section, testing Boeing's verifiable predominance anyway, with a restored obligation to development manageability and client-centered procedures. Boeing has the potential to get back in the saddle and reshape the fate of aeronautics as the business keeps on recuperating from the pandemic's effects and explore the difficulties of a quickly evolving world. The opposition among Boeing and Airbus will drive progress, benefiting carriers and travelers around the world.